This is from Pro Football Network. One assistant coach to watch for every NFL team. Browns, they go offensive line coach Andy Dickerson. Offensive line coaches often have difficulty getting noticed in offensive coordinator searches. However, Dickerson's profile will rise if Cleveland can keep the line production while replacing legendary offensive line coach Bill Callahan. Browns interviewed him as their offensive coordinator, so he in their mind, he had a pretty high profile. But I can't argue with that. The opportunity is there for Andy Callahan. It's going to be interesting to see. Can they keep this offensive line at a high level and tweaking it a little bit?
With Andy Dickerson, I keep coming back to two things. First off, there was a lot of turnover of the offensive line in Seattle. Obviously, I think it was 2022 that they used their first and second round picks on tackles in Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas. He's gotten them ready to play at a pretty good level. So they've had to turn over that offensive line in Seattle, and he really, I think, did a very good job with them. The second thing I always come back to that's going to be, to me, one of the more underrated things is Andy Dickerson is from the Sean McVay tree. We talked about Ken Dorsey bringing different ideas with him from Buffalo to Cleveland, but then you also have Andy Dickerson, who's worked under Sean McVay, and that tree has certainly had a lot of success in the NFL just in these last few years. Just more great offensive minds are bringing together, combining more ideas, and that's part of the continued evolution of an offensive coaching staff. You never want to get things to get stale, and I think with the Browns, I think you have to give Kevin Stefanski credit, even after winning 11 games, even after, still having success despite all the quarterback turnover, that he wasn't afraid to make a move to replace his offensive coordinator. Obviously, letting Bill Callahan walk to be the offensive line coach under Brian Callahan, but then you replace him with a quality offensive line coach, Andy Dickerson. A lot of turnover, but certainly they brought in some interesting guys, and I'm very fascinated how this offensive line is going to look under Andy Dickerson.